hope you're doing well today. I hope you're nothing but good health, prosperity, a strong mindset, and a healthy vision for the future. I'm going to tell you how to do a dopamine detox in 2025, okay? Now, first things first, I want to address this. A lot of people get this idea that a dopamine detox is going to change their life. If they just stop doing one thing and they start taking cold showers, then they're going to be a millionaire. Like, that's not how it works. You don't have to decide, oh, I'm going to do a detox and cut everything out so I can build this business, right? Maybe you just spend a lot of time on your phone, and maybe you just have a shorter attention span. So you're cutting it down so that you can focus more on other things that are more important. Or maybe you just want to go outside more. So the first thing is this. Find which social media platform you spend the most time on and cut it out, okay? Completely. And that sounds extreme, but you gotta think about it this way. My vice was Instagram, right? So I would spend in a week, maybe like 10 hours scrolling on Reels. And that's a lot of hours. So imagine I don't use Instagram, or you don't use whatever platform you're using. Those hours that are going towards basically nothing, let's just be honest, you're not there for educational purposes. You're not really there to do anything for the sake of anything. You're just kind of mindlessly scrolling. That same time doesn't have to be built, like doesn't have to go towards building something crazy, but it can also just go to like self-reflection or just being more aware of where you're putting your time. So these steps aren't in any particular order, but you need to have a goal. And you also need to have something to do with the time that you've spared. Okay, there's no sense in you cutting out social media to sit in your room, get bored, and then want to go back on social media. That's not going to work. What you need to do is you need to have a reason for doing it, right? So how about you try to learn a language, or try to get into a hobby, or you try to get into more exercise, or you try to learn a skill, or you try to read a book, right? Use the time that you've spared into a different channel or avenue. Because look at it this way, right? I'll use my own example. 10 hours a week, okay? 4 weeks in a month, 40 hours in a month. 40 hours is almost a full-time job. And in some places it is a full-time job, right? I think it is a full-time job, right? You can imagine all the potential avenues that you can spend that 40 hours outside of your phone, right? If you read a book for 40 hours straight, you're more than likely going to finish that book. If you draw a painting for 40 hours straight, you're going to finish the painting. You can get so much further ahead when you reallocate your focus. That's the main point I'm trying to make. Once you know what you want to do, now you actually have to execute. And the thing is too, a lot of people will say, oh, I work. So it's my time to like relax and I just like to kick back. You can still relax. Being on social media doesn't have to be your only reward system. You know, how about instead of relaxing, scrolling mindlessly, you put on a podcast, right? Or you just lay down, take a nap, right? Be grateful, practice gratitude or something. Just live in reality, you know what I'm saying? You have a whole world around you. You might as well live in the world that's around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot more than what's behind your screen. It can also reveal things about you and your character and your visions and what you value, because it's easy to ignore the problems you have when you cover it with distractions, right? Maybe you're unhappy with your body, but if you're always on social media, one, that's going to make it even worse because you're going to compare yourself to other people. Two, it's taking away time for you to fix the problem that you're facing. You know what I'm saying? So rework it. That's the point of a dopamine detox. A lot of the times people give up on goals that they have much, much too early because they don't see the results, or they feel like it's pointless or useless. And it's a normal human instinct because time goes on, right? Time is like unforgiving. You waste time, it is gone forever. But the thing about that is just because it's time that you don't see a result doesn't mean that it's wasted, right? Because Results come through consistency, and you need to give yourself that time frame to see what can be different, because you're going to be doing a full month, right? The point that I'm trying to make here is for you to do the detox for at least the whole month, at least 30 days, right? See how it changes things for you. I'm going to add in another thing, giving up something that feels good. Some people do No Nut November and they stay celibate. Some people, they do no sugar. Some people, they do no social media. Some people do a mix of everything. Some people do cold showers. Whatever is your thing, do your thing. Like, I'm not going to tell you what exactly to do, but I do think it builds self-discipline when you cut something out that you really enjoy. And it would even be bonus points if you cut out something that's harming your health, right? Like if you're smoking a lot, you're drinking a lot, cutting that down for like 30 days, cold turkey, you'll get the withdrawals in the beginning, but you'll notice a difference like mid-month and especially at the end of the month. So learning to kind of develop that muscle of, okay, I'm at peace with what I have is a lot more powerful than being discontent with what you have and wanting more every single day. The less you want, the more you have. And the more you want, the less you have. So it's all about your perspective. And another thing I'll add, last thing I'll add, is if you can, journal what you're experiencing, right? Your thoughts and the things that are going on around you. Keeping track of what you believe and what you're seeing can kind of open up some mental capacity as well. So watch this video, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.